Rovers looking to do the unthinkable this weekend, and that's go 7 wins on the bloody spin. Standing in the way are Millwall. Can we get the upper hand? We'll talk about that more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. Looking forward to Millwall up against Blackburn Rovers. Coming at you at the Den, that's right, that's this weekend. And we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe on your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, EFL, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right, Rovers are on this insane run of 6 wins on the bounce, 5 clean sheets on the bounce. Trying to add to that before we celebrate our lovely Christmas. That's right. We'll get to that, though, in a second. Big shout out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now is look forward to this game, look at the numbers, and then, of course, maybe squeeze out a Christmas prediction for me for this game. So let's jump in the deep end and have a little look at what we're talking about. We're talking about this, guys. It is Millwall. It is Rovers. It's coming to this Saturday. That is right. I will be doing the watch along. I'll be there sitting here and hoping to see 7 wins on the spin, which will be absolutely bonkerinos. But it ain't going to be easy, guys, because Millwall are a bit of a sticky wicket. But the form book or the history books might not say that. But if you look deeper, you can see a couple of little snafus here. So Rovers have played Millwall 20 times since 2012. Have we won 10 of them? They've won 3 of them, and there's been 7 draws, of course. Millwall coming into this 13th the table. That's a good spot for them at the moment. 25 points for the campaign. And they haven't won them in the last 6 matches. In fact, they've lost 3 on the spin. As for Rovers, 6 wins on the bounce, 5 for the table, 37 points for the campaign. It's a dream for us right now. It's you couldn't have scripted a great start for us. For what everyone was expecting at the start of the campaign. But anyway, you look back at those 20 games, there's not many goals in these, guys. The 2-0 win has been the highest scoreline either side. Millwall do have a 2-0 win against us. They scored 19 goals in those 20 games, 0.95 goals a game on average. Rovers on the flip side, again, their highest ever win, according to my data, is a 2-0 win. They've scored 29 goals in those 20 games, 1.45 goals a game. Let's take a look at some of those. These are the last 6 matches between the two sides, and it does look good for Rovers when you look at it, but again, this is Blackburn Rovers. This is a perfect opportunity to upset the apple cart, do a typical Blackburn Rovers thing, and shit the bed. When everyone's pointing the finger to say Rovers are going to win this one, this is just the tonic. This is just where we would do absolutely what we don't want to do. What I mean by that is everyone's thinking, everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid and starting to believe in Rovers. But this, of course, is a prime opportunity, a banana skin to disrupt the flux. Following on from this game, we do have some more, what you would say, difficult games. We got Sunderland, we got Leeds coming up, we got Burnley, of course. Those are games that we're probably expected to struggle, if not win. But this is a game we should win or can win. But of course, typical Rovers would be we lose this game. If we do not lose this game, and I would take a point at the moment or more, of course, then maybe we all should start to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit, because typically, this is where we fall off of the season. But anyway, look at the last 6 at both home and away here, and there's not a defeat in sight. Get rid of that. Of course, the last match at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Rovers. In fact, back-to-back games, there were plenty of goals here. Of course, with Smollet's chipping in the last time we played. Joe Rankin, Callum Britton, both on the score sheet the last time we were at this very venue. But Duncan Watmore is a key figure for me on the opposition. We'll take a look at the team in a bit more detail. The last 6, though, at the Den is a little bit more fruitful for the hosts here. They have got 1 win in 6, but still Rovers, historically, ain't too bad against Millwall, especially in recent times. Their last victory was back in July 2020. Mason Bennett on the score sheet. We even got a rare Joe Nuttall goal in this fixture. But anyway, that's a quick run of the events there. But like I said, let's not look into this too much, because this is pure Rovers. We've got to navigate these banana skins, and if we can come out of this with 3 points, then I'll be sipping that Kool-Aid well into Christmas and Boxing Day. This is the last 10 now between these two sides. And again, just that one blip on the resume, which was that one they lost at Millwall in July 2020, COVID year. So yeah, it looks good on the history books. If you want a deep dive over the last 30, again, only 4 wins for Rovers, surprisingly. 4 wins for Millwall, 15 wins for Rovers, 11 draws. The goals a little bit more fruitful over the 30 matches there, but yeah, it's going to be a tight old game, I would imagine. Take a look at the squads then. At just 15 million euros separate the squads. Millwall with a 35 million euro rating and 1.28 million euros per player. They've got a younger squad than us, less national team players, more youth players, and more foreigners than we do. We've got a squad value around about 50 million euro, 1.93 million per player as well. Let's kick on forward and take a look at the managers under the spotlight. Now, this is another area of concern for me. Is Neil Harris was at the helm. He declared his plans to step down after the Middlesbrough game. And they've had a chance here to bring in a manager. You would have thought they would have done some recruiting, or at least try to get the ball rolling in a couple of things. And so I was anticipating a new head coach for this role here. But now they've opted for David Livermore to stand in on a caretaker basis for at least this game. But they might even roll into New Year. Who knows? Because it is such a bit of a weird time to find a manager. But so there's the uncertainty of David Livermore. We don't know, what he's all about coaching wise. So is he going to follow the blueprint of Neil Harris, or will he come up with his own set of ideas? So planning to manage against that's going to be tricky for our coach. That's John Eustace. But so Livermore coming in here, of course, a similar age, of course. Maybe they played for each other. I don't even know. But of course, 0.81 points per match ratio over the course of his interim managerialship, whether it's I don't know if he's actually, or when his last game he managed. As for Eustace, of course, he's got 1.52 points per match ratio. His record against Millwall is okay, yet to lose against them, but a lot of draws knocking around with a 1.40 points per match ratio. So take a look at the squad then, shall we? Of course, for Millwall, Jensen has been between the sticks, into defence. Jay Cooper is a big absentee. Of course, Tanganga has been phenomenal this season and is definitely player of the season caliber. Ryan Leonard as well at the back there, keeping an eye on those guys. Moving into midfield, Murray Wallace, that's been actually deputising at the back. Ryan Whittle, one of the key faces as well. Roman Isse, a bit of an exciting prospect as well. Billy Mitchell, not the one from EastEnders, but the other one, he's right here. And up top, we got the likes of Macaulay Longstaff, who was scoring goals for fun. And of course, my danger man. If there's any danger man in this, it is Duncan Watmore. He's been incredible. For Borough, when he was at Borough, he was incredible for Sunday. He's a goal threat, a major goal threat. So keep him quiet. I think we're okay. Josh Coburn is on loan. I don't know why he's not been playing of late. Let me know if you're a Millwall's fan down below. Let's take a look at my expected starting 11 here. We've got Jensen between the sticks, McNamara, Tanganga, Wallace and Leonard. Into the defensive pivots of Saville and Denor. We've got Isse, Honeyman, Aziz and Langstaff up top. You might chuck in Watmore in there. I don't know. He hasn't been starting of late. He's been coming off the bench, more of a super sub sort of stuff. So that's my take on it. But yeah, definitely got some key players. But at the back, Cooper is a major loss. Wallace might be a little bit old, and if you have a bit of some pace up top, Rovers, we might be able to cause them some problems. But Tanganga is. I would have him. I'd have him in a heartbeat. There's probably 2 or 3 players that I'd definitely snap their hand off if they were offered. Watmore, Tanganga, maybe a couple of others. Leonard is also quite a versatile kind of player. So anyway, that's take a look at the Rovers team then. Of course, if you're a Millwall fan, you want to look at our squad. Here it is. Ainsley Pearce has been in between the sticks and is comfortably now number 1. Blastus Toth, of course, waiting in the wings for the FA Cup to come around. Give himself a run out. And then, of course, it will be the formidable duo at the back, Danny Bath, Dom Hyam. Again, we had talked about this on the podcast quite recently, what would happen when Hayden Carter comes back. People say just drop Danny Bath, but right now you can't drop him. He's playing out of his skin. And then, of course, you've got a decision to make at left back. Will it be Pickering? Will it be Owen Beck? Will they both play? And then also you've got a similar choice to make. If Callum Britton is fit at right back, does he come straight back into the squad, or do you or do you play Joe Rankin Costello, who of course has been pretty decent in the last couple of games as well? So take a look at that midfield options. Of course, Tronstad Travis will play as long as they're fit and raring to go. Baker is waiting in the wings. Decisions to be made though out wide. Will Beck start on the left? Will Dolan come in? Will Hedges come in? Same with the right. Amadio Kozodubi with a goal last time around. Does he get the nod? What about up top? Do you go Yuki? Do you go Mac Gay? Do you play them both? Cantwell can easily walk in. I don't know. It's we've had a week to prepare for this game, so hopefully more players are available. But it's a headache. It's a good headache to have for Mr. Eustace. But I've gone with this. I think there is a couple changes in here. Yeah, I've gone bold on my changes a little bit here. Pairs between the sticks. Pickering at left back, Bath, Hyam, and Joe Rankin Costello. Again, I'm leaning towards that. Why rush Callum Britton back if he's not 100%? I'd still play Joe Rankin Costello. I thought he is my bone of contention. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not the biggest fan of JRC, but he has played a really good couple of games to kind of warrant that spot. And right now, I'd have a Joe Rankin Costello in there, then a 75% fit Callum Britton. Into midfield, Travis Tronstad. That picks itself. Of course, you don't really change that because that is, I think, the key to our any progress we make this season is between these two. As long as they're fit and raring to go, you play them. That's right. Then the decisions are coming at you up here, the attacking four players. Big decisions need to be made, and I've gone with Owen Beck. I think he's tenacious. He's all about it. Hungry. He's got a goal now under his belt. He can show us. He shows us that he's an eye for goal. Of course, the overlappingness between Pickering and Beck, I think, is going to be quite a nice little fluidity there. So I think he starts, and then Cantwell comes straight back in. Of course, he opens up pockets for Big Mac Mactagay, and maybe he can get on the end of a couple of goals here or a couple of shots to kind of get himself warmed up. And then Kosa Dewberry, he was great against Luton Town. We cannot drop him from this match. He got a goal as well, so both two wide men coming in with goals. We got to just play that for the time being. And then Big Mac Mactagay, you'll see later on in the assists chart, he's up there, top 5 assist makers this season. He has 5 to his name, and he's been out the team for a whole bunch and not really starting games. And again, Yuki kind of needs to take a little backseat at the minute. And again, 15, 20 minutes from the end, chuck Yuki on, it'll be a right little nightmare for any Millwall defence. So I'm sticking Big Mac for the time being to play this game, and possibly even the Sunderland game, we'll see. Opportunity knocks. So opportunity, you got to take it. That's my call on that one. Let's take a look then, shall we? At the key personnel, we got Millwall's Ryan Whittle under the microscope here. Contract does expire in 2025. Don't know too much about him. Is he a loanee? Is he a full-time player? Because if he is, it does look like he's a loanee. Sign on maybe from, I don't know where you signed him from. But he's a defensive midfielder. He's 27 years of age. Up against Tyree Stolen, €5 million. His contract does expire at the end of the season. Is one of Rovers' long-lasting headaches. Of course, once the inevitable happens, whether he signs or goes, which more likely he will go, someone else will have to fill that void. It was big bad boy Brereton Diaz. Now it's Tyree Stolen. Who will be the next? Will it be Cantwell? Will it be somebody else? But there's always somebody that needs to sign that just bloody won't sign. So that's a long-lasting headache. Let's take a look at the top 10 for each set of players here. Starting with, of course, Millwall, and I've talked about him already. Jeffet Tanganga. He is the best player on the pitch, guys. He is phenomenal at the back, an absolute steal for Millwall. And of course, with him at the heart of the defence, they've got no worries, I think, to bother them relegation zones. A lot of people are saying, oh, now Neil Harris has gone, Millwall are going to drop like a stone. I don't see it. I think they've got a hard-working team here. They just maybe need a new set of ideas. But Tanganga, you've got him. Absolutely amazing. Joe Bryan, I didn't see him on the roster of late, so he looks like he's a big loss. Ryan Leonard, of course, doing okay at the back as well, with Jake Cooper also looks like a bit of an absentee. And then in midfield, Saville and Denor got similar numbers to that of Tronstad and Travis, so looks like they're quite key to anything in the midfield there. And then, of course, the likes of Duncan Watmore, George Honeyman as well. As for Rovers, a star man has been the goalkeeper, and we've been waiting years to say such a thing as that. Easy pairs with a 7.21 rating over the course of the season. Tronstad's up there alongside Danny Bath. Cantwell comes in, of course, you would imagine, and Dom Hyam, Lewis Travis, Owen Beck, Callum Britton, all above the 7 mark. That's good stuff. Joe Rankin Costello, like I said, not out of the woods, and definitely an argument can be said that he should be playing games, and this could be a good chance for him to really nail down and get his head into the squad here, because if he would just admit to himself that he is a right back, or a wing back maybe, and just say, yeah, it's my spot now, and then maybe we might see the best out of him, and we might see a little bit more from him in the squad, because he is one of those players that you can kind of play anywhere. And of course, those kind of players are quite good to have. But anyway, those are the players under the microscope. Let's take a look at this team under the microscope. So on average, 6.89 average rating for Millwall this season out of the course of the 20 matches played. As for Rovers, 6.95. We've also played the same amount of games, which is 20. They've scored 20 goals compared to our 25, conceded 18 to our 17. So they are pretty tight at the back. On average, 1 goal a game. Of course, what else are we looking at here? Yeah, 1 goal a game, 5.8 corners per match on average. Rovers 1.3 goals a game, just 3.8 corners per game. So set pieces could be a big deal here. As for possession-wise, 40.2% possession for Millwall there, with 7 clean sheets. Rovers 46.7% possession and 10 clean sheets. I'm going to interrupt this for a second because this is a quite a key factor here. We've been playing against Luton Towns and the Leeds and the Millwalls and the Hulls and Sheffield Wednesdays, and all those scenarios, the Hulls and the Sheffield Wednesdays, for example, away from home. Typically, those were the games. In fact, all of those 5 games, we were more of a counter-attacking sort of threat. We weren't a team that bossed the possession, bossed the ball, etc., etc. I can see this game being something different. I can see Millwall just giving us control of the game here, which might not work to our strength. So as you can see, the low numbers for ball possession, they are barely breaking into the 40% mark. We, of course, 46.7% possession. So maybe we do like to have a bit more of the ball, but this game might be a Rovers dominated ball. So that could work in a couple of different ways. So bear that in mind as we look forward to the game. Just 1 red card for the season for Millwall. We have 2 thus far as well. Let's take a look then at the attacking stats here. Of course, Millwall coming actually with 34. Actually, when in possession, 44% of the time they come down the right-hand side, 34% on the left, and when in possession, they have 43% of the ball was in the middle third. They do like to go more attacking than defending, which is completely opposite to that of Rovers. We're, of course, more often than not found in defence than in our attack. And again, when we are in possession, we prefer the right-hand side to the left, which of course is the same as Millwall. As for shot directions, they prefer to shoot from the right-hand side to the left, and 15% of their shots are in the 16-yard area. Rovers preferring to shoot from the opposite side there, 50% from the left-hand side, 14% from the right. We have equal sort of numbers in that 6-yard area, but a little bit more increase of numbers outside the box. Finally, take a look at the shot direction then coming at you from the opposition for Millwall. More often than not, they have got shots coming at you from the left-hand side, just 31, actually just 9% within the 6-yard area. Rovers prefer, or actually when I say prefer, more often than not receive shots from the left-hand side, again, similar to that of Millwall. Finally then, folks, let's take a look then at how the goals were scored for both clubs here. Of course, take a look at Millwall first at the top of the graphic there. 9 of their goals through open play, 8 set pieces. That's a whopping 8 set pieces, 2 counter-attacks and 1 penalty. Rovers, 16 through open play, 4 set pieces, 3 counter-attacks, 1 penalty and 1 OG. The goals conceded, like I said, quite limited goals conceded by Millwall. 10 through open play, 7 set pieces, and 1 counter-attack. You can look at that a couple of ways there. Of course, we score quite a lot through open play. They're quite prone to scoring through open play. Our set pieces are quite limited compared to their 7 goals conceded. So, we could take advantage of that. Rovers, though, conceding 11 through open play, 4 set pieces and 2 counter-attacks. So maybe we're not as bad as we think at set piece control there, but we'll see. Take a look then under the microscope, the form book coming at you. Millwall coming into this on the back of these 5 games. Not a win in sight, which is good for a Rovers point of view, but a couple of good draws against Millwall and well, maybe Oxford. Maybe that when you look back at that, it might be a bit of a sticky one, but definitely the Millwall point at home was solid. But then 3 1-0 defeats on the row. Coming at you though over the Christmas period after the game against Blackburn Rovers, they go to Norwich on Boxing Day, Coventry the 29th, and they'll host Oxford once again on New Year's Day before taking on Sheffield Wednesday in a very, very busy, manic time of the season. As for Rovers, their form book looks like this. Clean sheets galore in the last 5. Of course, with good, important wins over Middlesbrough and Leeds. And then tricky egg on your face or banana skins, Hull City and Sheffield Wednesday, good solid ones there. A convincing one for the fans at Ewood last time around. Millwall will be a tricky game. I know it does look favourable when you look through the books here, but it's going to be a tricky old game and definitely one that could swing either way. After that, we do host high-flying Sunderland at Ewood on Boxing Day. That's going to be an absolute cracker there. And then Hull City at Ewood Park in back-to-back home games. Then we go to Ellen Road, which will definitely be a nightmare, especially New Year's Day. We'll kick that off probably with an L. And then, of course, Burnley in what is an absolute, one of the worst Christmas run-ins over the course of the season there, so across the division. So that's that, of course. So what did we make of the form then coming into this? As you can see, it wasn't too long ago where Millwall at home were pretty solid. It's actually been back-to-back defeats for them, but they are winless at 3 at home. Rovers on the flip side, again, we were dog-awful on the road at the start of the season, but we've managed to clung in 4 wins on the spin on the road, keeping 3 clean sheets as well. So absolutely phenomenal for Rovers that. So yeah, it's definitely a winnable game. But what is it? Well, if we look at the game under the microscope and take a look at each other's strengths and weaknesses, what do we have? Well, Millwall's strengths are set pieces, scoring chances, and stealing the ball from the opposition, whilst also protecting the lead. They're also very solid at defending set pieces. Their weaknesses, though, are scoring chances, avoiding offside and keeping the ball, keeping possession of the ball. Their style of play, though, is a lot of long shots, long balls, crossing the ball often, controlling the game in the opposition half, and playing down the right-hand side, whilst also optimising the other end of the field, the opposite side of the pitch. Meanwhile, Rovers' strengths, counter-attacks, aerial duels, protecting the lead, and stealing the ball from the opposition. Our weaknesses, though, are avoiding offside. We do like to play in our own half. We have a consistent first 11, but we can be quite aggressive. The forecast says Rovers will steal the ball from the opposition often, but Millwall will control the game in the opposition half. So they're not giving us too much to say. So it's a bit of a difficult one to call this one. And as you look at the table, it is looking good for Rovers at the moment. A win for us. We could mathematically go 4th, depending on the goal difference, but doesn't look likely. But I think it's just maintaining our playoff ambitions, because mathematically we could also drop out of the place. We do have a game in hand on some of the guys above us, so that's pretty solid. Millwall themselves could actually move up to 10th with a win at the moment in time. What else is going to go on around the grounds? We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's take a look at the journeys for both Rovers and Millwall. Millwall are the green. Slow start to the season. They peaked quite nicely just outside the place, but they kind of trailed off now. And again, with a new coach coming in, they can either restart that trajectory, or it could be going downwards. So they've got to get the appointment right. As for Rovers, yeah, a bit of an okay start, a little bit of a dip, and now coming back in there. So looking pretty good for the time of recording. Let's take a look then at those games around the grounds. Of course, kicks off this Friday. Luton Town against Derby. Yeah, that's right. That is right. It's at Kenilworth Road. Then we go to the early games on a Saturday. Portsmouth, Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday against Stoke, and then Hull against Swansea. Into the 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunderland against Norwich. That'll be a banger. Plymouth against Middlesbrough. Also got a lot on that one there. Leeds against Oxford. We've also got QPR against Preston. Burnley against Watford. Cardiff against Sheffield United. And then, of course, the game of the day will be at the Den. Millwall against Rovers, and we will have that watch along. West Bromwich Albion, though, they'll be hosting Bristol City on Sunday, and that'll be the final game before Christmas Day. And then, of course, we look forward to the Boxing Day matches. Take a look at the top goal scorers as you see it. Boras Sainz up there with 15 goals to his name. Josh Major up there with 10. Bayo up there with 9 as well. Lati Lath also on a bit of form right now. As for the key assist members, good name in there. Aziz, Fellows, Doyle, McCree, and Big Back Mac Gay. That's right. And a very, very interesting chase for the top assist man. But it all boils down to this, guys. What is my prediction for this game? When we look at all that, we take a look at the history books, we look at the form, we look at, of course, the track record against Millwall, look at the managerial situation. There was a lot going into this to figure out what we can get out of this game. Now, this is definitely a winnable game, but it's also definitely a losable game. And I would say if we come out of this with 3 points, you know, I know the horizon doesn't look that great with Sunderland, Burnley and Leeds coming up, but it definitely puts us in good stead for at least a top 8, maybe higher finish for the season. As long as we keep reading the menu, keep reading the script, go by the rules, do what John Eustace wants, it works. It's been working so far. So if we can get out of this, albeit I will take a draw. I would definitely take a draw, especially a 0-0, just to keep the confidence going at the back there. Then, yeah, I think we'll be in good stead. But I think I'm going to be a little bit greedy this Christmas. Oh, yes. Going to go for a bit of naughtiness. I'm going to go for naughtiness. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win here for Rovers. Again, yes, historically, it's not a bad result. It's a common result, Rovers victory. But I just think if we can keep doing what we're doing, we're going to grind it out. Millwall have struggled to score goals. They've got a bit of injury concerns at the back. I think if we could just get that one moment, whether it's a free kick, a corner, or whatever, I just think we can actually take the 3 points. And that would be great. That would be an absolute tonic heading into Christmas Day, where, of course, we have 3 out of the next 4 very, very dubious games, which could definitely go against us. So if we can get the points on the board now, then perhaps perhaps we're building for what's going to be a rough start to 2025. Anyway, that's it, guys. Subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. We'll be back for, of course, the game itself, watch along, of course, the debrief, the vlog. I think we've got an Australian fella out there. He's, of course, going to do the vlog for us, respect. And, of course, we'll see that vlog on the channel. Until then, I'll see you soon for the next one.